Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles. Yesterday I did my end of 2016 1/6 scale collection update video, and I mentioned that these two figures from Asmus Toys in Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings had shipped, but I hadn't received them yet, and lo and behold, a day later, I've actually received them today. So I'll do the review now, and this is just the quick look at the box art. So the same sort of style that they've been going with these Lord of the Rings figures. I do like that cover artwork. I'll just grab the inside inserts. The inside inserts do show that Asmus has started numbering these figures, which I guess pleases some collectors out there. I don't think it really bothers me too much. And for mine, they are number 151 of 1,000 of this two-figure set. They do come boxed separately, but are packaged together in a single shipper as a two-figure set. And as you can see there, the pictures of the two figures. The likenesses aren't that great. They're not spot on like many of the Hot Toys figures are, but the overall quality in the clothing and accessories is actually pretty damn high. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the set. But enough of that packaging. I'll grab the figures and the accessories and give you guys a closer look. Alright, the set of accessories, as you can see, is pretty damn awesome, and the overall quality is also very high. So I'll just start with, if you did pre-order from a number of retailers or buying directly from Asmus, you'll also get this Mithril shirt as a pre-order bonus from Asmus. And the texturing and the tailoring is actually pretty nice. This gold sort of patterning around the neckline there is actually just glued on, I think. But overall, it's pretty nicely done. I'm not sure how many collectors would actually try and put this on Frodo, to be honest. But I'm definitely not going to be trying that based on all the other clothes that he's got on. But it is a nice little bit of a bonus by Asmus there. With Frodo, he comes out of the box with his default cloak. And don't try to undo the little button here, because it's not actually a button, it's just sewn on. So the way to get this off is to actually take off the head and replace it with the elven, I think the cloaks that were given by the elves that they have there. So I think this cloak from by Frodo is the only figure that comes with a separate cloak. All the other hobbits do not have a separate cloak, but the tailoring on this and the texturing, it's like a nice soft cotton material, and so the stitching and so on is actually very nicely done. So I do like that. Of course, it comes with the usual cloak with the elvish badge that you see there. So all the hobbits have this, and the fold here I think is by design, so it doesn't sort of balloon out the back. So don't try and unstitch or anything like that from what I've been told. And the same for this one here. So we're all there, they're sort of stitching together. It's I think that's by design, so I'm not going to be futzing around with that too much, to be honest. But they're quite similar to the other ones that if you've got the other two figures, you'll know what you're getting with those two. The bag that comes with Frodo is also really nicely tailored, so it's all sort of felt type material. The one that came with Merry and Pippin, I think, was more of a weathered leather look, and this one is a more of a fabric type look. But again, the overall stitching and attention to detail in the pockets and so on is actually quite nice, and it does have a bit of padding in there to just fatten it out, so I think that looks pretty damn fantastic. Sam's backpack is actually even more intricate. So I love all the detailing there in the pouch. It's got the rolled up rug or blanket there at the top, and then the straps, and it's all sort of nicely sort of thin fabric material, and I think there's a bit of velcro there that you can undo the flap, and again it's padded on the inside with probably some foam or something like that. So again, that's a really nicely detailed backpack. Sam also comes with this white bag. I can't actually recall this in the movie, to be quite honest, but it does look nice. It's more of a sort of furry type material, but again, that's a nice bit of a nice touch there. With Sam, his accessories include his sword. I can't remember, I think if this was the sword that Aragorn or someone gave him. But it's got the nice sort of weathered silver wash and dark wash to it. And the detailing on the sheath here is actually quite nice as well. And it does have a fake leather sort of strap that you tie around, and the instructions do talk about how you sort of strap that around his waist and so on. So that's nice. Frodo comes with Sting, which is nicely detailed on the hilt and the sheath, and the blade itself is nicely done with a bit of patterning there, so I do like that, and the sheath as well. And you've got the, I guess, more elaborate sort of belt strap, and again they tell you how to sort of fold it through and belt it up on him. So again, both swords are quite nicely done. Sam comes with his whole sort of cooking set. So you get a large frying pan, which is really nicely weathered. The sort of black sort of charcoal look to it, that it's really sort of, you know, cast iron that's been used extensively. And then the small frying pan, I do love that. Comes with the large ladle, which again has a beautiful sort of rust paint app on it. So definitely really well detailed there. Comes with a little wooden spoon, which is quite nice as well, just as you would use in your cooking. And comes with this really nicely detailed pot as well. And this handle is a bit of steel wire that they've sort of twisted around, which is really nice. Love the way they've done that. So love those sort of cooking accessories. It comes with this roll of salami or ham, or yeah, it must be salami or something like that, which is nice. So that's not real string, that's just molded plastic, but nicely detailed there. And he also comes with this sort of, I'm not sure, I don't think it's real leather, but very nice quality fake leather water pouch, which looks great. So I do like that. And funnily enough, it also, Frodo actually came with this, which is the file of Galadriel, I think, where he can shine it in dark places, etc. I thought they advertised this as coming with Sam, but it actually came in the box with Frodo. So I guess it doesn't really matter, since you can only get these guys in a 2-figure set anyway. But just interesting to note that that's the way they advertised it, but shipped it differently. Sam comes with 2 hands by default, which are just his weapon sort of holding hands, but he also comes with a couple of relaxed hands, which are nicely sort of sculpted. No major paint sort of detailing or anything like that, but nice look on the veins and so on, so can't really complain too much for that size. And then the sort of open palmed hand as well. With Frodo, he comes with a whole suite of hands as well. So he's got a couple of weapon holding hands by default, and then another sort of, I don't know if that's meant to hold the sword or something like that. A couple of relaxed hands as well. But my 2 favourite are of course the ones with the rings here. So this one, this open palm with the ring is not removable. They've stuck it in there quite tight, and you can't get it past the knuckle, right? But on this particular finger, this pointing finger, you can remove the ring, and it's a nice little metal ring, so you can have him holding it in his palm, I guess. Now I'm not sure if this open palmed hand is meant to be the one that you can remove, so you can sort of have him holding it like so. I just dropped it into the frying pan, but so I don't know, I might try and heat up this hand to see if that actually comes off or not. Otherwise you can just stick it on this finger pointing hand, which is really nicely done with that little ring. But of course, I think my favorite accessory of the set is this necklace with the ring. And it is a real metal necklace. and I think it's the same ring. I don't think there's any sort of extra weight or anything on that ring, but it just looks really, really nice in this scale, and will definitely go well with him wearing it around his neck. So on the accessories front, I can't complain at all with this figure set. I think the quality of the accessories, along with, or compared with other companies such as Sideshow and Hot Toys and so on, I think they're right up there with the best accessory makers in the 1/6 area. So can't complain about that, but I'll get to the figures now and give you guys a closer look at those. Alright, I'll start off with Frodo, and straight off the bat, one of the things that they have definitely improved on in the sculpt is the sculpting of the hair itself. I've got the previous two hobbits here, Merry and Pippin, and I'll give you guys a look at the sculpting here. One of the things I mentioned in my previous reviews of these figures is that the hair isn't really detailed enough. If you look up close, the sort of texturing and the line markings of the hair sort of blend in, and it's almost like a clump of clay, whereas with Frodo here, I think the sort of line sculpting and so on and detailing in the hair is much better. It's much more detailed and much more in line with some of the things that you see from Sideshow and Hot Toys. Probably not quite to the level of detail and paint application in Hot Toys. The paint application itself is maybe a little bit flat. It would have been nice if there were a few more maybe lighter coloured highlights just to break it up a bit, but overall the sculpting in the hair is a definite improvement. The sculpting in the face is, I guess, an area that they are still not getting quite right. So you can sort of tell that there is a likeness to Elijah Wood, but not quite perfect. And they have mentioned in some of their posts in the Sideshow Freaks Frodo and Sam thread that there should be no issues with deformation of the mold, and I'm not quite sure that's the case, to be quite honest, because a lot of, and here's Sam as well, just as a side by side. In some of their previous figures, you can tell that one side of the face is sort of deformed on the mold, where it's sort of either a bit lower or a bit skewed to the side. And for me, I can definitely see that Frodo suffers from that same issue. So if you can see there, you can tell that his eye here is lower than his other eye, and this whole sort of jawline, it's like this side of the face, his left side of the face is just that slight bit lower. So I'm not quite sure what it is in their mold or production process that makes that happen, but it's a common problem through a lot of their figures, and I'd hoped that they had fixed it, but at least on this Frodo figure, it's not quite fixed. And I guess on the Sam figure, that sort of lowering is not as pronounced, but it is slightly there as well. If I can hold that steady enough, you can sort of see again that it's just slightly lower, and you can tell that for some reason it just seems like this side here, particularly in that jawline again, that it just seems a bit more pudgier on that side. And so when you look at it from some angles, his face just looks like he's been to the dentist and it's swollen on this side. So it's just a shame that they can't quite get that production process right. I mean, some of the prototype molds that they've shown have been actually pretty damn good, but they seem to, I don't know if it's tweaking it or something to do with their molding and production process that just seems to modify things just a bit too much to make it seem just a bit off. Now, just looking at Merry and Pippin here and their head sculpts, I didn't actually notice any sort of real deformation on these sculpts, and as you can see, the symmetry in the face is a lot better. The eyes don't, the left eye doesn't seem like it's drooping on this head sculpt here. So I don't think there was any sort of deformation issue with these molds. The likenesses aren't that great either, but I would probably say that the likenesses on the Merry and Pippin figures is actually better than the likenesses on the Frodo and Sam figures. I guess it's just a shame that with the additional detail in the hair, the paint application on the face, I think, looks pretty good. I can't fault it too much. It's definitely a lighter shade than with Merry and Pippin. If I just grab this one, it looks like he's been in the sun a bit too long. But with this one here on the right, the skin tone is a bit whiter and paler, and just the detail sort of stands out a bit more. So the paint application's been improved, the sculpting in the hair has been improved. It's just that for some reason during the production of these figures, they've reverted to that deformed sort of left side of the face, which has affected some of their other characters. I can't remember the name of that character from Elwyn definitely had that issue, but the other female character from The Hobbit, I can't remember her name, but she definitely had it was almost like she had suffered a stroke or something, and that whole side of her face had drooped. And Frodo here definitely, you can exhibit that sort of look as well, for mine anyway. So disappointing head sculpt in that regard. So hopefully they can improve. They have teased Legolas in a separate thread on the Sideshow Freaks forum, and the prototype mold there does look very good. I just hope that they don't screw it up in final production and paint application. But enough about the head sculpts. On to the good, and the good is definitely in the outfit. The outfit itself has this outer jacket, which is a nice sort of almost like a felt type of furry material, which is nicely tailored. So you can see the tailoring there with the buttons on the side, the buttons down there, which I think are they are sewn in. And then he comes with his inner vest here, which is nicely done. There are buttons that you can undo to reveal his inner shirt. There is a white shirt in there that you can see sort of picking out the top there, and it is held to the pants with the suspender belts. But I'm not going to try and take that off. I'm not sure if they're metal. I think they're plastic, so I'm not going to risk trying to clip that back in and breaking that like I have with some Hot Toys figures. But overall, the look of that is nice. The pants are a nice sort of khaki type material, and again you have the nice tailoring, the pleats at the front with the buttons there, and then at the back. I don't think there's a belt on this particular figure, but overall the pants tailoring is very nice. The feet have probably excessive hair on them. The original figures had nowhere near as much hair, so it's a bit more subtle. So I'm not sure if I'll end up trimming some of that off, because that just looks like he's a bloody werewolf. So I think a bit too furry on there, but we'll see how we go with that one. So the feet, same sort of dirty feet that you'd expect from the Hobbits, and the same sort of underlying body design as the others. So all the articulation is the same, which isn't too bad. The knees are pretty damn tight, so just be careful how you bend those. I haven't actually loosened mine up, but they are on sort of stiff ratchets, but just be careful as you bend them, and just make sure the clothes aren't caught in there. But other than that, the outfit on Frodo here is pretty damn good. Sam's is probably even more intricate. So he's got this nice woolen jacket on the outside, which again is nicely tailored and textured. I love that sort of textured look. He has this white and grey sort of pinstripe vest type inner jacket thing, which again is nicely tailored, and you've got the pockets and things like that in there, so that's really nicely done. They do give a little baggie of spare buttons. I think they're sewn in on the sides, and then I'm not sure if these ones in the middle here are just glued on, so just be careful of those. and his inner shirt there is nicely, it's like a nice sort of soft material there. It's really nicely tailored, and again he's got those suspender belts as well, so can't fault that outfit. I think it looks fantastic. And he's got similar pants to Frodo, not the buttons down the front there, but he's got those pleats, and the tailoring and the fit again is very nice. And again, bit too much fur on the feet, but I'll have to see if the movie shows whether or not Frodo and Sam have more hair on their feet than Merry and Pippin. But on Sam, I think I don't think I went through his head sculpt. The hair, I think the paint up on the hair is quite nice. It's got the nice sort of blonde highlights in there, and again the detailing and the sculpting is far improved this time. But again, unfortunately, with the sculpting of the face, and this left side of the face is just a little, if they had just mirrored this where it was nice and a bit more streamlined, he wouldn't look so pudgy on this side, like he's been punched in the face, or his neck is sort of growing out. He's got some sort of a George Lucas thing happening down that side. So that's pretty much it for the new Frodo and Sam figures. Sorry about the focus there, if I can actually get them back into focus. Overall, I'm happy to have these in my collection finally, to at least complete the Hobbits for me for Lord of the Rings. On display, I think they'll look pretty damn good, but I guess on closer inspection there are definitely some improvements that Asmus can make to these head sculpts. I think they do a fantastic job with the clothing and the accessories. If they can just improve on their head sculpts and their final production molding and so on of the head sculpts, they would definitely be a force to be reckoned with the likes of Sideshow and Hot Toys, etc. So hopefully you like that look at the Asmus Toys for Frodo and Sam 2-figure set. Hopefully you can click that subscribe button and stay tuned for my upcoming reviews. I think I've got some Masterpiece Transformers coming up in February, and War Machine Hot Toys Diecast Mark 1 coming up shortly as well. So hopefully you can stick around for all that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.